Welcome to this cord cutting exercise. So I welcome you to set your intention of not only who you want to disconnect, but also what types of pattern you want to leave in the past that might connect to a specific person or just in general reoccurring relational pattern. So we do create these energetic cords sometimes from undigested emotions, but sometimes these are cords of habits, of a specific way of relating. And when we meet someone new, it's almost that we want to plug into the same way of connecting, into the same way of energetically connecting. So I welcome you to have an open heart towards yourself, towards your higher self specifically. That is the person, the energy that is with you at all times, and other energies might come to love you for a while, to initiate you for a while, and then they might leave. Some of them come back to you. But the most important relationship is always to your higher self, to your heart, to your life pillars, to your body. So if you want, please lie down for that exercise. It will take about 20 minutes, and then I welcome you to lay a little bit longer in your comfortable space so that you really rest your nervous system and regulate back into the here and now. So please lay down. I welcome you to focus on your breathing. We are inviting the energy of acceptance, love, gratitude. And in order to leave a past connection, partnership in these energies of love, gratitude, and appreciation and acceptance, sometimes we have to experience and remember the lower ways of connecting where there were hurts and pains, bring that to the surface so that we can actually live in peace, which means you are actually in alignment. It means you are moving forward in abundance as well. If we have these open tabs on our computer, we cannot just struggle with focus, but we also struggle with intuition. Having energetic cords, unresolved relational trauma is always hindering our intuitive guidance and our ability actually to attract. In addition, of course, we're struggling to relate in new manners and be open for new energies. So with that, please bring your hands on top of your heart. I pray for me to release what no longer serves me. Allow the surface to be released. Whatever contract I had on the surface shall be released with grace and ease in the human realm. And I now access the energetic realm for my highest good. I access not just my subconscious to release what no longer serves me. I access higher guidance, higher energies for my highest timeline, for my highest expression. Whatever was there for me to experience with this specific person was for my own transformation. Maybe there was only one piece that led me into stepping into that higher timeline now. And for that one piece, maybe it was more, I'm grateful. And I accept that now, that sometimes we have to meet initiators, we have to meet teachers, we have to meet people who trigger us. We have to meet people sometimes casually in order to learn more about ourselves. And to be free in this way of connecting, in the way that you are in integrity and in alignment with you, is a liberation for the soul. It's a way to experience love and abundance and prosperity. And I no longer relate from fear. I no longer relate from maybe revenge. I no longer relate to trigger myself if I allow everything that life invites me to feel and release, so that I can actually attract better, so that actually I can be relationally prosperous. So with this intention, almost feel as if this intention of yours is going into your heart to work on your heart chakra. Is a very sensible place to work on. It's mostly only available when someone has cracked you open, when you had a dark night of the soul, or when you were already in touch with your joy and you never let that go. But for some people it requires this deep initiation into the heart that can be very uncomfortable. Maybe you were actually giving that initiation to a lot of people around you when you are radiant in the heart. And that means that you're often meeting their trauma, you're meeting their wolves. And we have to allow that to be still a protection for ourselves. We have to know that this is happening and protect our own field, our own heart, our own vessel of how the divine flows through our heart. And staying in that way of relating from an open heart, from an open flow, is a success. It is a beautiful experience of the divine in the human realm. So if you have allowed yourself that, be proud of your heart. Strengthen that bond, even if it hurt, by allowing the flow of your higher self and higher love through the heart. You actually release and let go much quicker. You allow yourself to experience more of these connections, whether that is in a romantic or friendship settings. You allow yourself to experience what is there for you when you flow that love through your heart. With grace towards yourself, without losing your discernment, without losing your intellect, to know now it's time to step away because this person is no longer flowing their energy. This person doesn't know how to treat me the way I want to be treated. And we have to go into that discernment as a way to protect that flow, as a way to protect the divine in our heart. And with that, you strengthen the flow. With that, with perspective, you care for your own spiritual nature in the human experience. And maybe you worked very hard to have that alignment. Maybe it took years to get there. And then someone came, disencouraged you, maybe displaced you in their life in the way that wasn't suited. That doesn't affect your flow. It affects your discernment and your actions. It doesn't affect the flow. You take the respective action without losing the love in your heart. In essence, you are that love flow, that love glow throughout your body, throughout your heart, throughout your womb, your creativity, your sensuality, your sexual energy. So appreciate that so that you are going into cord cutting and releasing with a lot more self-respect, with a lot more ease. If someone moves you out of your alignment, they have gained an agency over you that is disaligning you. So wherever this person created a form of agency control in a negative sense of one of your energies, maybe that was your heart, maybe that was even your sexual energy, let you yourself be intuitively guided. What energy is connecting to the energetic cord you want to release? And then bring yourself into that deep, deep connection to that energy. Maybe it's your body, maybe it's your lower chakras, maybe it's your heart. And just ground into that connection for a couple moments. Feel into that energy body, into the energy of you. And know and sense that you are in connection with that energy. You can always restore it, you can guide it, and always have this beautiful relationship with that energy. Maybe it's the energy of love that is generated from your heart. Maybe it's the energy of sensuality that flows through you, that as a result of consciousness and sexual energy and love and your spirit. Maybe it's your inner child that was, abused or betrayed. Maybe that person triggered an old wound, and then be grateful for that person, for that purification and liberation. So now that we've located the energy and the point where we have an energetic cord, and with this in mind, we're placing our field into an energetic protection. So we circle golden light, crystalline light, source codes around you in a circular manner. 6 feet around you is protecting a very large field of yours. And it's circling towards source, so that it looks like a tornado and it goes into the earth. And then you create 4 pillars of light around you, crystalline pillars. They look like beautiful large crystals, and they connect to the core of the earth as well. And we're inviting in the energy of purification, the energy of restoration. And one of that energy is softness. So tune into your nervous system. Is your nervous system able to access softness? Because softness in the nervous system equals surrender to the divine. It equals surrender to your higher self. And with that, you trust your higher self's guidance to let go and to move on, to restore, and to move on again and again. So try to access your nervous system state and see where you are holding a turbulence. Maybe you're holding to alertness, and breathe into that. See if you can feel into the emotion that is creating that tension. Maybe you can allow it to show you what it is that it's connected to. And with that information, we're just going into breathing. We are allowing ourselves to breathe long and deep with reverence to our heart. We know that the nervous system, our central nervous system, stores something, and it's now ready to be released by feeling it. So we feel the tension. We feel the emotion. Maybe it's anger. Maybe it's a deep sadness. And you say, hey, I'm going to embrace that for a couple more moments. And I'm going to embrace that with a connection to Source. I'm offering these feelings to have a stronger connection with Source, with the Divine. I will be, hey, I allow myself to be poured into me. And in order for me to pour it into my vessel, adoration, familiarity, deep care, restoring that on the human level requires sometimes to go into the deep old wounding, to offer them to a new vibration. So surrender the emotions. Be present with them. I allow these emotions to meet the flow of myself. Allow the anger to be felt. by all of my bodies, by my physical body, my mental body, my emotional body, my spiritual body, so that they're all able to flush out the past, to create new, to create abundance, prosperity in relationships. Relationships shape you, nourish you, guide you. But without the past burden, and specifically without the past burden that isn't even yours but your parents and your ancestors. Now cut the cords in your back chakra. Wherever you feel intuitively there's a cord, cut the cord with an invisible instrument, maybe a sword, maybe a scissor, and then breathe into that specific location. And in your visualization, and maybe actually actively, you turn around and you see the person that you're wanting to disconnect. And you say thank you for whatever they were able to give you in that life path. I say thank you, I release you. I love you, I thank you, I release you. And see if you can also here cut the cords directly between your heart and this person's heart. I no longer want to hold on to the old. I want to restore and refresh my field. And if that person is meant to be in my life, they will survive that cord cutting exercise. I release you with grace. I release you from self-respect and alignment. And wherever they had a form of agency over one of my energies, I now take this energy back. Maybe they were even holding your inner child for a while, and now you hold your inner child. Now you take care of it. Maybe they disgraced you, and you are there and say, I take agency over my emotions now. You hurt my emotions so that I become aware that I don't give my heart away without discernment. That creates agency. That creates more sovereignty. It's just a way of reframing it and making yourself more powerful. So whatever this person did, frame it in a way that now you're more sovereign. Now you're more prosperous because you have more agency over this specific energy of yours. Maybe it's how they viewed yourself. They viewed yourself less of who you actually are. And now you take agency over your self-image. Now you create the identity that you are actually from your higher self, and you move from there. And that was a gift that they gave you. And we thank them and we let them go. And they go back to source now in that exercise. Their energy, their spirit, their shadow, all of it, their inner child goes back to source. And whatever part that is not going to source, you might have to repeat that exercise, because now if only their mind, only their programming, only their inner child still present, that part connects to a part of you that you still need to liberate. And then repeat that exercise. But if you're now free and liberated, turn again forward and create the chalice with your hands in front of your heart. Open the palms towards the sky like a chalice. And we start breathing through the heart into the body with great softness. We thank the body to have the sensation of softness accessible to us, because it means our body knows the guidance of our higher self. And when the body goes out of softness, it will show you. And when you have the energy of softness available to you in your heart, maybe it's available in your throat. Maybe the energy of surrender is actually experienced by other humans through these elements within you, through your throat, through your heart, through you being in the softness of your nervous system. And be proud of that, reconnect to that. And remember that this is your guidance as well, not just your clairvoyance and your intuitive guidance. Tap into it and allow that surrender to be experienced by the body, where you give the body the alchemy to return back to that state. And then connect to your womb, and through the womb down into the earth. And now invite this beautiful energy flow, crystalline golden light, to flow through you from source. And whatever is invited into your life for the next relationships, a new pattern, welcome it into your hands. Welcome that energy that you want to experience into your hands. And maybe you sense a specific symbol or another object visualized in the palms of your hands. And with gratitude and acceptance, place it into your heart. I allow myself to grieve whatever is still left to be grieved in my heart. I allow sadness to move through me because I am in a surrendered state. Because I'm an allowance of my familiar energy to return to the normal state. So that I'm not dictated by past events. I'm not dictated by other people's patterns, programming, and shadows. I don't interlock with them. If they want to connect with me, they have to connect to my higher self, from their higher self, from their soul frequency, from their agency. And I don't intermingle so that someone else is taking the agency over one of my energies or one of my chakras. Nor do I play into a pattern that I have inherited and didn't let go now. I have now returned to sovereign relationships. And so it is. And then deeply ground the body, connect to the body, give it a hug, and release the control. Start breathing throughout your feet into the earth. And feel this tingling sensation in your body of liberation and freedom. And slowly return to the here and now and open your eyes.